listeners. Welcome back to episode 3 of a Let's Talk About Everything podcast. Today's topic is very near and dear to my heart. It is basically, being a Black woman that has IBS. If you don't know what IBS is, it's Irritable Bowel Syndrome. And it is actually April, and in April it is Irritable Bowel Syndrome Awareness Month. So, woo woo. So this episode is very near and dear to my heart because of course, I am a Black woman and I do have IBS, and this journey has been very confusing, very rewarding, and I just want to share my journey and my experience, and maybe this will help, somebody that looks like me or that also suffers from IBS. So my story is very weird, kind of. So it all started, I was staying in South Carolina. And I've always, was been very adventurous with my food. I always ate like weird things. I don't know why. Like I used to eat sunflower seeds and mac and cheese. I don't know. I know it's weird. I know. But I always just enjoy like weird things. So one day after school, I, regular day, and my stomach started hurting. And I was like, okay, maybe it's either that time of the month or, just maybe I ate something weird and just didn't agree. So, went on by my day, and then the pain got worse. And I was just like, this doesn't feel like a regular stomach ache. You know how you have the stomach ache and you be like, all right, drink some ginger ale, eat some saltine crackers, and you're good, right? But, this was not your average pain. And I was like, okay, something's wrong, but I'm just like, maybe, I'm over exaggerating. So I went to the bathroom, and not to be too graphic, but it didn't went down in the bathroom. And it was not my normal, go to the bathroom. So I'm just like, okay. And, it passed. The pain went away. I drank some ginger ale, did some saltine crackers, was on the couch watching Maury and Jerry Springer and all that great stuff. But yeah, it went away and I was fine. And then a couple of days later, that same pain came back, and it was this sharp, aching, like burning pain, to the fact that I like could not walk, or like I would have to lay down because the pain was so bad. And I'm just like, and I went to my mom and I was like, hey, like I'm having this stomach ache. And when you like stomach ache, you like Pepto-Bismol also. Like you throw Pepto-Bismol or Tums. That wasn't working. And I'm like, Mom, I don't know like what's going on. And you know how we all go to Google. So we went to Google and we put in my symptoms. And the first thing they're going to say is that you're dying. And I was like, great. And so then, kept my research going. And the symptoms that either I had was like either, Crohn's or UC or, just a bad stomach ache or gastritis. And then I saw IBS. And my mom was like, that kind of sounds like you have that. And, me being in denial, I'm like, no, I don't have that. I don't have that. It's just a stomach ache, or, maybe it's going to like a stomach bug that's coming and it's going to pass soon. So I was like, And so mom was like, no, really, I think you really have this. And I'm just like, okay. And so one day, I would never forget this day. We were actually on our way to, I think, church or some other thing. And my mom and my sister were in the car waiting for me. And I was like, my stomach's hurting. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. And I was in the bathroom for 3 hours. And I could not get up from the bathroom. My stomach was, oh my gosh, the pain was so bad. And I was like, I need to go to the doctor. And I came out the bathroom and I was like, Mom, like, yeah, I think I need to go to the doctor. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I do have IBS or something else. So we actually went to the doctor. I went to my primary care first. And they're just like, oh, well, maybe you have, just a stomach ache, or maybe you have the stomach flu. And I'm just like, no, like, this is really bad. And this is where, like, if you have IBS, or if you have any type of illness or any diagnosis, this is where you would have to advocate for yourself. Because if you don't advocate for yourself, no one's going to advocate for you, or if they do advocate for you, it's not going to be as well as you personally doing it for yourself. Because a lot of doctors and or nurses or other medical professionals, they are not going to actually, sometimes in some medical professionals, they're not going to take you as serious, and you're just like, yeah, no, like, this is bad, this is what I'm feeling. And some medical professionals would downgrade your pain. Do not let them, especially as a Black woman, especially as a Black person. Unfortunately, our pain gets downgraded a lot. And just because of our skin color, just because of the way we look, the way we talk. So in that moment, I was scared to speak up, but I'm like, hey, no, like, this pain is not your everyday pain. So my primary care doctor at the time had referred me to a gastro doctor. And with any referral, it took forever because they are backed up, but this time it took forever. And during that waiting period, I did have more moments of diarrhea. I had more moments of constipation, but a lot of diarrhea. And so I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared because I'm just like, my body has never done this before. So I actually had my appointment with my gastro doctor, my first gastro doctor. And, they did the blood work, they did the colonoscopy, and that was a time. Okay. Colonoscopy prep, it tastes so bad. Okay, it tastes disgusting. But I went through that and did my colonoscopy. My colonoscopy came back clear, so I did not have Crohn's. I did not have UC. I did not have cancer. And when they ran through all my symptoms and my medical tests and everything, my doctor diagnosed me with irritable bowel syndrome. And when I heard irritable bowel syndrome, I was happy because I finally got an answer to my pain. But then on the other flip side was I never got the proper care for it. And being a Black woman, like I said, it's hard to get the proper medical care, in diagnosing with IBS or childbirth or anything of that sort. So when I got told I was diagnosed with IBS, I just got handed a paper of what IBS was, and the diet that went with IBS, and just went on my merry way. And every time I would ask questions, it kind of got downplayed of, oh, you have IBS, you don't have Crohn's, so you're fine, or just take Tylenol, just take aspirin, you'll be fine. And I'm just like, no, but these things aren't working. So I actually had to leave that doctor and actually doctor shop. And sometimes doctor shopping is not bad at all, because you are actually looking for someone to actually listen. And as a Black person, that is hard, and it's hard to find, and it's hard to come by. So I have went to, I want to say, like, either 2 or 3 gastro doctors for someone to actually listen to me, because this pain is so bad. Like, some days I cannot get out of bed. Some days I cannot go to work. Sometimes I have to crawl to the bathroom, crawl out of the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom for 3-4 hours. And with IBS, I have learned there's 5 different types of IBSs. But when I got diagnosed, I only learned about 3. So it was irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, and irritable bowel syndrome mixed. So when I first got diagnosed, I was irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea. Now I am mixed, so I can go back and forth between diarrhea and constipation. So I never got the proper care, the proper information, the proper tools of how to deal with this diagnosis and then actually live. So I'm still on that journey of, how to live, how to basically be a Black woman and also have irritable bowel syndrome. But I feel like it starts with, the medical professionals of actually properly informing you of how to take care of yourself, because we just out here willy-nilly. But during this process, I unfortunately had to visit the hospital because the pain got so much where Aspirin has not touched the pain. The heating pad did not touch the pain. Tea, water, like nothing is touching this pain. And this pain is so severe where I'm really like shaking because I'm in so much pain. And I remember one day I went to the hospital, and this was before COVID. But hospitals like ERs, like you're in there, you could be in there for 12 hours. So I was in there, and this doctor, I will never forget, she was very rude to me. Um, I had told her my pain and what I was experiencing. And I told her, I have been diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. And as soon as I said that, she's like, oh, like, it's just a stomach ache. Like, you're fine. And I'm just like, no, like, I'm really shaking in pain. Like, my heart rate was up. Like, I like could not stop shaking. I'm in pain. And they basically she was just like, you're fine. Like, just get up. You're fine. And I'm just like, no, I'm not fine. Like, and that kind of discouraged me because I'm just like, I have come to you for help. And just to be dismissive like that, it really like crushed my soul. Like, I'm just like, and they just shot me up with pain medication and they just sent me home. And I'm just like, this pain medication is going to wear off and that pain is still going to be there. And two, I need help. Like, I need to know how to manage this pain, how to manage this IBS. Like, I never got the proper care. And I just feel like as Black women, as Black people, the care has to get better. Like, we are people just like anyone else, and that pain is real, just like anyone else. And to be treated as such, it's it's sad, it's disappointing. It's just like, why? Like, I'm here for help me. And through this journey, even with being diagnosed with endometriosis, I have experienced, racial discrimination, and also like age related, because I am young and they're just like, oh, you're young, you're fine, you grow out of it, or this pain isn't as bad as you're saying it, or they have that face of just like, I could be dealing with something else. So if you are feeling like that, if you are experiencing what I have been through, one, don't give up. Two, there is somebody out there that will listen to you. I eventually found a gastro doctor that listened to me very well. She actually went through the process of having IBS, so she understand my pain. She understand what I was going through. I also found a OBGYN that listened to me, that actually fought for me getting surgery to find out that I had endometriosis. So it is a journey. A lot of people go through years of not finding that one person that will listen, and it's disheartening. And I get it, but keep going. Don't give up. Even if you have to like write letters, like, don't give up. Find that one person, find that one doctor or that one nurse that will actually listen to you and actually understand you and actually do something. Because a lot of people listen, but they don't do anything. So actually find that person that will actually do something, that will actually listen to you and actually get movement and action done. Because we should not be out here, Black women, Black men, we should not be out here suffering because no one will listen to us. It's not fair to us. And it's also not fair to the next generation coming up after us. So that's, yeah, my journey of being a Black woman, having a chronic illness, because IBS is chronic. There is no quote unquote cure for it. Basically, it can, in my case, sometimes I have had moments of it going dormant where I didn't have any symptoms. But then in my case, because every case is different in IBS, I had like, a week or two of it went dormant. And then that next, month or year, it's torture. But again, don't give up. There is someone that will listen to you. You just have to find them, or they will find you. Advocate. I'm all for advocating for irritable bowel syndrome, endometriosis, any invisible illness, any chronic illness, any acute illness, because all chronic illnesses, especially invisible illnesses, needs to be brought into the light. because irritable bowel syndrome is known as an invisible illness because one, you cannot see it, you can't see it on tests, you can't see it in your outward appearance. Like if you look at me down, like you would not think that I have irritable bowel syndrome or if I have endometriosis, unless you're like in my room and seeing me like crouch over in pain or in the bathroom for 3-4 hours. So advocate for yourself, Black people, Black women. If you see like a doctor is not listening to you, you have a right to go and find another doctor or find another nurse, because if they're not listening to you, who knows if they listen to their other patients. So go and advocate for yourself. Don't give up. You are entitled to an amazing care, amazing medical care, because it's hard out here, and it's unfortunate that it is. But before I go, because it's going to be a short episode, my next episode will be about, me going through the insurance process, for getting care from my irritable bowel syndrome and endometriosis, because that is a process, friends. Yeah, that's a process. With me and insurance, we are not seeing eye to eye. And I know a lot of people have gone through it and are going through it. And I'm still going through the process of getting insurance and actually getting disability, because I have been out multiple times throughout my working career because of my IBS or because of my endometriosis. So my next episode, or probably the episode after this one, yeah, will be about my journey throughout the insurance process. Yeah, hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully, if you have gone through this, please comment down below of how you have overcame this or are overcoming this. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I know it's a short episode, but the next episode will be longer and amazing. So, bye, warriors.